would trickle down to Houston, but nigga, you never heard it, and you over there just bobbing your head like, nigga, damn, this shit jamming. But they don't all that stay underground, I'm guessing. At least they get on the radio though over there. I don't know.
Yeah, no, New Orleans will definitely play their records.
Now, I was gonna go out a limb and ask this here, because being from the outside, I gotta ask about in regards to New Orleans. Was it really like competitive between Cash Money and No Limit?
Yeah, it was. The thing was this though, when it was kind of almost transition, because No Limit kind of had their run a little bit before Cash Money.
Yeah.
No Limit was really taking over, 96, 97, 98. Around 98, I remember like 97, 98, if I'm correct, when Juvenile had came out with the Soldier Rags record. I remember that was that was a song.
That was on Warlock Records,
put up Soldier Rags. Yes.
Was that on Warlock Records at first, or was that Cash Money?
I think that was his first. That was his first joint on Cash Money, if I'm correct.
Okay, because there was Being Myself album. Yeah, because there was the Being Myself album before on Warlock, and then that was before he got on with Cash Money.
Yeah, once they got on with that, it slowly the transition slowly started to change, and then because I mean, look, literally, if you remember, Cash Money taking over for the 99 and the 2000. By that point,
man,
when 400 Degrees dropped, dog, it was different.
One of the greatest intros to a song ever. Oh man, you knew what it was.
Now, I told my lady this. I was like, look, the way I judge a woman is solely by what she does after she hears Cash Money Records is taking over for the 99 and 2000. That is how that's where I judge her from.
Look.
If you start checking and that hands go up, we gonna have to rethink this.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, woman, what is you doing? We at church. You play that record anywhere. I don't care where you at.
Well, I mean, they playing it up in church, and I'm like, okay, what church I done wandered in?
Right,
Bible booty quaking? Look, sanctified and ass shaking?
Sometimes
the church the church will make it clap, the congregation of cash them down?
Right? No, it's the Church of Titties Going Up over on the Little Missionary Rock on the Hill.
They got the choir behind the damn rump shaking, sitting there singing ooh la la's and all of that. Hallelujah.
Man.
I ain't gonna front. If I was there the first Sunday and they played that with the choir and the choir singing, girl, you look good, but you know what? I'm becoming a member of that church right that day.
That's how popular that record is.
I'm just saying. They bring the whole choir in, and Pastor, girl, you're working with some backyard. You see, it's actually Juvie preaching.
They changed it to God. You working with God, yeah, boy, but Lord, everybody is singing the real song.
And that's exactly how it work out. But I mean, hey. But I mean, to answer your question though, so when I seen it, it was kind of more of a transition of power because No Limit was still moving, but they start slowing down. Granted, I think Lil Romeo came and had a really big hit at that time, and then C had ended up catching his case, so everything started slowing down at that point. I mean, but P had his hands in so many different avenues, and then at that point, Cash Money was straight music, because you had Cash Money doing their thing. You had Juvie doing this thing, then BG. So you got Back That Ass Up playing, and then right after Back That Ass Up, Bling Bling comes on. Then you got the Hot Boys doing their thing. Then the Big Timers doing their thing. So it's like
they couldn't compete.
It was you know what? It was Golden State versus Cleveland. You had too many heavy guns at that point. It's just you had too many shooters on the court. It was like, what can we do?
Well, one thing about it, and I think a lot of people really don't understand in terms of the street history with New Orleans, is that it's serious out there. They had a song called "Drag 'Em in the River," and that's exactly how it went with people. Yeah, man. Badass Yellow Boy. And that's
you won't ever. Ain't that cold? I'm gonna drag him
and I
out
mean,
the river, his body and check out. Yeah, that was my drum.
Yeah, man. I mean, so there was always, I think, a lot of times in terms of where, there were, I guess, during the 90s, too, because Cash Money, people don't understand the history that Cash Money had actually been around since 1990 and had just hit prominence in 1998, after that deal with Universal. Of course, ironically, No Limit had started the same year, but P had initially started in the Bay Area in Richmond, California, to really hone his craft before really bringing it back home. So obviously there was going to be inevitably some type of competition. We can only thank God that nobody was killed during that time because both of those guys were heavy in the street on both sides. Both were certified. Now, and we don't necessarily want to step on toes here, so please, you don't have to say anything that may be too inflammatory. The situations with Cash Money in terms of how things had started off so great, but then over the time, and you being from there, and being in the industry, you saw a lot of the ins and outs of what was going on. What was really happening in terms of the business dynamics as to why, at the end of it, they were unable to really keep that, keeping everyone together? Was it really just a lot of bad business, or was it just kind of people wanted to kind of go in their own direction with it?
I'll be completely honest with you, from everything that I've heard from just people that I've talked to close within that circle and everything, it was all bad business. I mean, because you think about it, when you're younger and you coming on, you know what I'm saying, you're satisfied with a few $1,000s here, some jewelry, a car. But once they were getting older and realizing how big they were, a lot of their money just wasn't adding up. So from everything I heard, every last one of them had left because the money wasn't right. I mean, and just in testament to that, we kind of see what Wayne was going through. You know what I'm saying? And I personally felt bad for Wayne because if this is the dude that stayed loyal with you and rode with you through all this, that's the one dude you don't want to put. You know what I'm saying? If he's saying if he's saying, look, you promised me $8 million or whatever you promised me, let me get that. Or worse, if you don't even have it, look, you know what? I ain't got it for you, but let me give you half or something. Let me try to do good for you because Wayne carried Cash Money for a very long time.
For real.
He could have went ahead and Rockefeller on him, but he stayed down with Cash Money from 04 to this period now. He carried that wave.
He did, and I think more than anything. Oh, go ahead, Chinchilla. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the business side of it, because I'm always looking at business. The business side of it all, he fucking off, like you said, his number one moneymaker on the cool, and the glue that holds his whole operation together. But all he doing with all of this talent, if he was a good businessman, like you said, he'd go ahead and straighten that account out. And he put something on all the rest of the accounts because, nigga, he could stand to make so much more in the industry long term because of all of the stuff he's been through, the name he's acquired, the reputation that he had acquired up until all of these lawsuits. He could have done some things. But like you say, when niggas want to think of the cash right now and fucking over niggas, they don't give a fuck and they think whatever. They fuck themselves in the long run. You gonna hear that nigga filing bankruptcy and he gonna end up tax evasion. That's the type of people that run into them type of problems. They trying to be too slick and they fucking themselves in the end, and they don't even see it coming because they not thinking long term. They thinking what's right in front of them and how slick they can get. So,
that's true. Now, from
one thing I learned when I first.
Go ahead.
One thing, the first thing that I learned when I got into like doing music was, you know what, always do good business. Always do good business. If I got nothing else, I know for a fact no one will ever be able to say anything bad about me on my business sense. So where if this is what we're gonna do, we're gonna do. If I was paid to perform here, I don't care how many people are there. If it's a sold out show or whatever, it could be 2 people there. If I was paid to perform here, I'm going to get them 2 people that exact same show and get a sold-out show to. You know, my thing has always been about doing good business. Like when I started doing a lot of stuff, when I was starting to, like, trying to build my brand and so I could tour out here, I would tell every promoter, look, you don't need to pay me nothing. Just let me come and get on the show. Whatever you make from that, you keep that. But when I come back around, if it comes out good and we can do business